All right. So glad that you guys are here. I see some of you are still kind of hopping on. But we're going to talk about the art of conversations tonight, because the conversations when it comes to this business is where the meat happens. It's where the magic happens, is what I like to think about it. Like, our business wouldn't move forward and we wouldn't be able to grow our business if we didn't actually have conversations with people. So this is probably the most important aspect of your coaching business, besides following your own personal health and fitness journey, staying on track with your nutrition, and taking care of yourself, personal development. I feel like that's all number one, right? Number two of this business is literally just working your business, and conversations are a huge part of your business, right? So I do have a few slides, again, I know what's going on with me, to share. But at first, I just kind of want to shout out a few ladies from my team that are just crushing it. So I can kind of just recognize you guys. Actually, none of them are on here, but I'm going to shout them out anyway. So Georgia, I want to give a shout out for just submitting her results to Beachbody Challenge. You guys don't know about the Beachbody Challenge and that you're able to submit your results and get a free shirt or whatever, you guys got to submit your results. It's really amazing. And you can get a free gift out of it. So you might as well do that. Kate, I wanted to shout out. Kate Mallett, she has been just a queen of sharing her transformation. If you want to know more about like sharing transformations, what that looks like, go check out Kate Mallett's posts, because she's amazing. She's really into it in her stories, and she just does a really good job. I wanted to shout out Rachel Wright for her coaching post that she created the other day. It was just perfection. Her pic was beautiful. So if you want some tips on how to create a killer coaching post, go read her post and take some notes and get some inspiration from that. I also wanted to shout out Kate, Georgia, and Jasmine for running their first coaching sneak peek together, which is huge. And I also wanted to shout out Jasmine for having some points on the board. So those are my shout outs. Woohoo! You guys look so excited. All right. Jabin, is there anything you wanted to say before I went on?
My shout outs, Corey got back to Diamond today, which is super, super exciting. She crushed last month. And Rebecca Dyer, she has points on the board, but she also has lost 7 pounds already with Morning Meltdown. 7 pounds and 2 inches already. She's just crushing it. Do you want to listen? So she's doing really awesome as well. So I'm really proud of her. She's consistent, and everyone doing Morning Meltdown is just doing really well right now. It's huge for our businesses, and it's just really exciting to see everyone on in our morning crew and all that. It's just, I don't know, it rejuvenates me in my fitness just to see us all doing the same program at the same time. It's just really cool to me. So everyone doing Morning Meltdown, I'm proud of you. You deserve a shout out.
I love that. I know. I love programs where we get to actually do it together. It's powerful. There's such a powerful thing when community like that happens. So, yeah. Okay. I am going to get started. And I want you guys to, whatever you're doing, I want you to pull out a typical invite or a follow-up or a new connection message that you typically send when you're working your business. I want you to go find that right now, and I want you to post it in the chat box, because at the end of me talking your ear off about this, I really want to go and just kind of check out what you guys have been doing, maybe give some feedback, or you can be like, this is working really well for me. You guys should get some inspiration from this. Like, we're here to learn from each other. Because I think sometimes we get stuck in how we invite. Sometimes we get stuck in how we follow up. We kind of just do the same thing, and maybe it's not working. And you're like, why am I not hitting Success Club? Why isn't anybody responding to me? Well, maybe it's not freaking working, and we need to figure out maybe like some different verbiage, and maybe we need to tweak your messaging a little bit. and all of that. And I'm here to learn from you guys as well. I'm really excited about that. So wherever you're at, go pull out a typical invite or just type it in the chat. And I want to see those popping up here as I'm talking, okay? I'm going to share my screen a little bit. So let me do that really quick. So the art of conversations, here we go. So pretty. All right, so the art of conversations, how to connect and serve with your invites. I'm just gonna go over some basic do's and some basic don'ts of conversations, what you guys need to think about, and then I also put together a document for you guys where I just shared some of my typical wording and verbiage for invites, follow-ups, and then a conversation flow to getting people to actually sign up and join, and how to explain a challenge pack. So I put that all together for you, and I can also share that. It's not fancy or anything, but if you need me to share it later, I can also do that as well. So the art of conversations, how to connect and serve. So I want to first of all talk about the do's of conversations. I'm just going to kind of minimize this so I can see you guys better. Can you guys all see that okay? Can you give me a thumbs up? Boom, thank you. It always looks different on my screen up here. Oh, now I have you guys on the top. That's okay. All right, so the do's of conversations. So do make it personal, and always think about the person you're talking to versus what you're selling. I think this is huge, you guys, because I think we get so caught up in what we're selling and what we do, and just wanting to sell a challenge pack and get people connected. And the number one thing that you want to remember is, who are you talking to? What do they need from you? What does their personal life look like? What is their profile vibe? You know, who are you talking to, and how do they need your help? And I think if we go into conversations with a heart to serve and a heart to help, you'll notice probably that your conversation flow is just a little bit more genuine. They're going to hear your heart behind your initial message. So always make it personal. I would recommend, if it's maybe somebody you haven't talked to in a while, or if it's maybe a new person, this is up to you as an individual. And I can share what works for me and what doesn't really work for me, because I know. But you might want to check out their profile, notice something that they're into, or you know, maybe they just had a baby or something like that, and personalize the message according to where they're at in life. I did this the other day with somebody, and it worked really well. I was inviting her to MM100, but I checked out her profile first and saw that she's recovering from a broken leg, and she's in physical therapy for 4 weeks more. And so I'm not going to go in her inbox and say, hey, do you want to do a fitness program with me? And she's over here, oh, well, I just broke my leg, so I can't do it. So it actually helped me in my conversation, because she was like, I really want to do this, but you got to hit me up when I'm done with physical therapy. So we kind of had that conversation flow, and it went a little bit better. And I think she kind of had a little bit, and I don't know, but she might have had more respect for me messaging her and noticing that, versus me just being like, hey, let's do this together. And I just didn't even look at her profile. So just keeping those things in mind. The second thing is keep it short. Keep it short and sweet. When I first started out as a coach, sometimes I'll come across somebody that I haven't talked to in a while, and I'll see my initial message that I sent them, like when I first was a coach. Javen, you can probably relate to this, and a lot of people on this call. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just word vomited all over them, and no wonder they ghosted me. And oh my gosh, that I would ignore my message all day long. It was awful. It was awful, but I just learned from that, right? Sometimes we just kind of start there because we don't really know what works for us. But it's better to keep it really short rather than bombarding the person with a lot of information all at once, or a lot of questions, or, you know, explaining all about you, and not making it all about them, because we are in a business where it's all about them. It is not about us. Ever, really. We can share what works for us. We can share our struggles to help inspire them, but it's really in order to help them. So keep that in mind as you're messaging as well. And in here, it just says, you know, no more than like 4 sentences is what I think is, you know, I think you should keep it under 4 sentences for your initial message. You want to show enthusiasm when you're inviting to a challenge group or the coaching opportunity, either one. People will feed off your excitement. I love emojis. The star eyes emoji and the crazy face emoji and the heart and X's and O's are my jam, but because it just shows like energy and excitement and enthusiasm behind what I'm actually inviting to. Now, I'm saying that because that's me. That might not be you. That might not be your vibe. You might hate friggin' emojis. You might just be a little bit more reserved, and that's okay, but at least use some exclamation points in your messages. Show some excitement, because people are craving positivity. People are craving some light and energy in their life, because you just can't go wrong with that. So I encourage you in your messages to be that energy and that light that that person needs. So be enthusiastic about what you do, because then they'll want to join you because they want to be as excited as you are to start a new program. Ask questions, get to know them, get to know their struggles, their needs. What do they need from you? Ask them. Do they have any physical limitations? Ask them. I want you to treat this business like you're a personal trainer and you know what you're doing, you know your crap, and you want to get to know your client before you design a workout program for them. It's the exact mindset you have to have as a coach. I don't care if you don't know anything about, designing a program. It doesn't matter, but you do know what people need, right? You do know that you're not going to go recommend 21-day fix with somebody who has a broken leg, right? So you have to ask all the questions. You have to get to know them. Don't just jump into explaining what you do or explaining a package without knowing their goals. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more with the conversation flow that I created for you guys. End every single message with a question. Some of these things might be really basic for you, but maybe you guys are learning some stuff here too. So take everything in, okay? Do end each message with a question. If you don't ask them a question at the end of your message, they don't know that they should respond back to you, or they're more likely not to, because they just were like, oh, well, that was a nice message, forget about it. But if you end with a question like, would you be interested in something like that? Totally cool either way. They would be like, oh, no, thank you. Or, you know what? I actually might want to learn more about it. Either way, they will say no, thank you, or they will say yes, tell me more. If you just ended it like, hey, I saw your comment on my post. That is super cool. I'm so excited for this program, and my challenge group starts really soon. And it's just like awkward because there's no question. So always ask a question after your message. Create urgency. You can always create urgency by referencing when your challenge group starts, or when your coach mentorship starts, or when you're starting your program, and maybe the number of spots you have available when a sale ends. That's always an option to create urgency, especially towards the end of the month. We can do this using our promo codes, saying, I only have 3 discount codes and it's first come, first serve. Claim your spot so I can give you $10 off. I would love to do that and bless you. That creates urgency. They're going to be like, heck yeah, I want $10 off. I'm not going to miss out on this. She's going to get a ton of clients and I'm not going to miss out. So I better sign up right now. So use that with your promo codes. It's a perfect way to utilize your promo codes. But what worked really well for me with MM100 last month was creating the story graphic with the numbers of spots that I have, with the number of spots that I need to fill. And I just kept putting names in those spots. And every day I would throw it up on my stories and be like, oh my gosh, Larissa just signed up. Oh my gosh, Juliet just signed up. It's so exciting. Your name goes here. You're next. You're next. My spots are filling up. It just creates a sense of FOMO. It creates excitement and energy because I'm constantly talking about it. So they're constantly thinking about it. And it just shows them a visual of spots going away. So that's another way to create, urgency, is using that in your stories. And then obviously follow up. Don't leave people hanging. Don't forget about them. Make sure you do have a tracking system, because without a tracking system, you will probably lose people through the cracks. And I've done it. I still do it sometimes, and it happens. But don't think that they don't deserve a follow-up, and don't think that you're bothering them for following up, even if you're following up 10 plus times. Listen, you guys, I follow up. I have some people on my follow-up list that have 10 blues. What does that mean? That means I've messaged them, followed up with them 10 times. But guess what? I have a new program starting, and I don't want them to miss out. So I'm going to message them again. I'll be like, hey, I like to keep you in the loop with things going on here, obviously. So I'm wondering if you want to do a 100-day program with me. It's going to be so much fun. Are you in? Are you in? Like, just let me know, guys. That's something I would say in a follow-up message to anybody, but I would definitely keep following up even if they're not responding back. If I see that they're reading it, I definitely follow up. If I sent 10 messages and the blue little check mark is still there, I might just be like moving on from that person because they're not even reading it. So just kind of, feel it out. Feel it out. Okay, don'ts of conversations. Don't bombard them, obviously, with questions right up front, because that's kind of like feeling like they're being interviewed or something like that. Don't bombard them with questions. Don't ask them if they want to join your group right away unless they have, showed interest, right? If they're showing interest, it's like you're not going to say, yeah, do you want to join? I mean, there's just a balance here, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If it's a new connection, you have to feel out the messages. And I'm actually torn by this, and this is why I'm going back and forth in my mind, because I'm figuring out what's working for me right now in my business as far as new connections go, and I'm figuring out what doesn't work so well. So with this point right here, I'm a little torn because usually I invite people because I talk to people only who have watched my stories, liked, comment on my stuff. So take that little point with a grain of salt, and I can explain it a little bit in a second, okay? Don't spam people with impersonal long messages. Don't talk about yourself constantly. I just already went through that. Keep it short, keep it sweet, make it all about them. Don't insinuate that they need to lose weight or that they need help from you. Let them talk about them needing help from you. Don't put them down, show empathy, be relatable, share maybe a little bit about your story, and then tell them, this is why I can relate to you. So, feel the person out. This is kind of obvious stuff, you guys, but I hope this is kind of helping also. Don't message once and never follow up. People are busy. Always follow up. They probably read it and then forgot about it, or a lot of times I message people and then I follow up with them and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see your message. I bet my daughter was playing games and opened your message and I didn't even see it. I totally missed it. That happens too. So always think the best about the person on the other side. Maybe they just forgot. Maybe they got busy. Maybe somebody died in their family. Maybe somebody, I don't know. Always think positive about the other side. That wasn't positive, but you know what I mean. Okay. Don't tell them the price right away, even if they ask for it. This is a big one. How many times have we, gotten that message that says, hey, I'm so interested in your program. How much is it? All the time, right? So again, I'm going to go over some things and tips in a conversation flow, but you never want to just come out and say the price before explaining the value of what you have to offer. If you just say, hey, I would love for you to join. It's $160. Are you in? They'd be like, hell no, $160. That's craziness for some workouts. Are you kidding me? Unless they know what they're getting access to, for how long, that they're going to be supported, that they have a lifetime access to your community, they're not going to want to spend $160 on something that they don't even know about. So be careful with that. And again, I'm going to go through a conversation flow that I created that will help you know how I kind of tweak, go into explaining it and asking more about them before giving them the price. So that's basically it as far as do's and don'ts. Pretty basic. I feel like it's kind of, a lot of it's common sense, but I think it's a good reminder to kind of go back to your conversations and evaluate, how are you talking to people? Would you want to be talked to like that? Are you making it about them? Are you asking too many questions? This is another big one. Are you asking too many questions that aren't going to direct them to what you actually do for your business? And I think a lot of times we get into conversations and just hanging out with the person online talking about the dog, talking about the kids, talking about, you know, their vacation they did over the summer. And we kind of get lost in a conversation when we need to take our business seriously, and we need to redirect that conversation to what you can actually offer them. And if it's not right then and there, save that conversation, be like, okay, girl, I gotta go. I'll chat with you later. And then come back and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how long it's been since I chatted with you. I'm running this super cool challenge group where we get access to 100 workouts and we do it all together. Would you want to join? It would be so much fun to do together. That's when you can come back into an invite if it doesn't flow into it. Okay, I hope that kind of helped on that. So that's kind of all I had here. I see that there's a few messages in the chat. I'm trying to think. I guess I'm gonna go over the document that I made for you guys, just going over what I typically say. And this was kind of geared towards MM100 because I kind of just pulled some invites from some people I was talking to about this. So this is kind of the lingo I use. I'm pretty consistent. I say the same thing a lot. I also create my messages according to the person I'm talking to. I never, ever copy and paste. Almost never. I really gear my message directly towards that person. If I've talked to them in the past, obviously, I've got to gear it to maybe we've already talked about their goals. Tie in their goals to another invite. Maybe it's just checking in on that person. Maybe it's, you know, so you tweak it to the person you're talking to. Do not copy and paste, because they can tell that you're copy and pasting and they will not think that you're being genuine. So these are some examples, and I can just kind of read through them really fast. So this is something I would typically say for, you know, to a new friend that watched my stories, but we've never chatted before. I just friend requested her last week and she happened to watch my stories. Thank Jesus, right? And I would probably say, hey, Christy, I can't believe we haven't connected yet. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me in my stories. Having your support means everything. Were you interested in learning more about the fitness bootcamp I run and what I do, or just hopefully being entertained? It's totally cool either way. I'm so glad that we're connected. That's something I would say to somebody I've never talked to, but they just gave me an invitation to invite them for watching my stories and seeing what I'm all about. An invite from a like or a comment on a post might look like this. Hey, Tamara, how are you? Thank you so much for the love on my post. Were you interested in learning more about this 100-day program and doing it together, or just being an awesome cheerleader? Either way, I totally appreciate it. Simple, right? Simple. This might be a check-in / invite. Hey, girl, you know I'm always here to check in and keep you in the loop with what's going on. Tongue stick out face, right? How's your fitness and nutrition? Do you want to do a 100-day fitness program with me and some other ladies? Simple. Follow-up might look like, hey, girl, I'm checking in. Were you still interested in learning more about this 100-day program and doing fitness together? You know I'm the accountability guru. Something simple. Totally neat. Say something that you would actually say to somebody. See how, like when I talk, this is exactly how I talk, and I just write how exactly I talk. If somebody shows interest and wants more information, I would say, awesome. I would love to share more information. Do you mind if I ask what some of your health and fitness goals are? Maybe tell me a little bit about what you're struggling with that you want to change. Do you currently work out, or do you have any physical limitations or food allergies I should know about? There are some different options to get started with, and I want to make sure that I recommend what's best for you. That would be something that I would say if somebody came at me and said, hey, I'm interested. How much does it cost? I would say exactly that. And that turns it into, okay, there's different options. I need to know you better before I give you the price. An invite from stories or a post about coaching. Hey, Steph, I just wanted to thank you for the love on my post about coaching. Having your support means so much. Have you ever thought about becoming a coach yourself and sharing your journey to inspire others? I noticed that you're really into fitness too, and think you totally rock. Either way, I'm here to help and would love to share more info. For this, I would probably go to their page, see what they're into, and gear it towards them. I just put, I noticed that you're into health and fitness. Maybe she posted a workout selfie. Maybe it's more like, hey, I noticed you're into blah, 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 blah. I think this would be a really good fit for you. Another invite from that would be, hey, Steph, thanks for hanging out with me in my stories. Is coaching and what I do something you've been curious about? How fun would it be to be business partners, right? So that would be something else I would say. Okay, so this really fast. I hope I'm not going too fast, you guys. I can always send you this for reference if you want. But this is how a typical conversation flow goes from they're interested or I've invited them and they want more info, to closing the deal, closing the sale, if you want to call it that, to like sending a share cart. So this is something that what it would look like. They show interest and I invited them to join. They want some more information. Yes, girl, I would love to share more info with you. And I kind of just repeated what I said above. Do you mind if I ask what some of your goals are? Blah, 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 blah. And then they tell you their goals. And this is what I typically say. And this is kind of where the value comes in before sharing the price. You have to explain what you have to offer before giving the price. And for this one, I just explained it's a basic challenge pack, So I just say, okay, thank you so much for sharing your goals. Okay. I totally understand, insert empathy, insert relating to their struggles. I totally understand the struggle when it comes to sugar cravings. Oh my gosh, I've totally been there and it's so frustrating. Or I totally understand, not wanting to go to the gym and dragging your kids there and not having the time. Like, show that you understand their goals in some way. And then what I usually do is I say, what I love about these programs I follow is, I do everything from home. It's completely planned out for me, so I don't have to think. I love the nutrition plan because it helps me stay on track, so I don't crave the sugar. Tie it into that. And then I go into, okay, let me give you some details and then we'll go from there. When you sign up, you're going to get access to over 800 different workouts that are completely planned out for you, including simple, clean eating plans for the entire year. So you're setting yourself up for long-term success. You will get to try my favorite superfood nutrition shake called Shakeology for 30 days, which will really help kickstart your goals and promote detox your first 30 days, since it's full of over 70 whole food ingredients that help your body function properly. It's helped me so much to kick those sugar cravings for sure. There's also an option to add on my favorite pre-workout and post-workout that are clean, toxin-free, and really will help level up your results. You'll get portion containers needed for your meal plan that really helps simplify nutrition, ensure you're getting the proper amount of each food group for your body to see the best results. You'll get a lifetime access to my fitness community for support and accountability, and access to a cool tracker app to track your progress also. I am also here as your coach to help you the whole way and answer any questions and support you along your journey. Does that all make sense? Please ask me some questions. I'm here to help. That's something I would explain. I usually voice memo it if you couldn't tell. I voice memo that. I use voice memo more and more and more when I explain packages because it's just so much easier. But choose your way to connect with your person. So usually their first question is, that sounds awesome, but how much does it cost? That's when I explain the price, because I've already shared the value. I've gotten to know them and what they need. I know what I can recommend, so I've gotten all that information. Then I'm going to say, this is something I always say usually. Okay, for everything I mentioned, it's usually $270, but I'm bundling it right now for only $170. And if you wanted to add on the pre and post workout, it's only $60 more. I also have 3 promo codes for an extra $10 off that might also help. It's first come, first serve though, so they will be gone super fast. LOL. Does that make sense? Tell me your thoughts, girl. XOXO. So I'm utilizing the promo codes in there. You don't have to. Sometimes I don't, if I a lot of them, or if I feel like I just don't want to use them at that time. So that's our conversation flow. And usually it goes into, maybe it's an excuse and they're not ready. So then they go up on my follow-up list, or maybe it's, okay, I'm totally ready to do this. How do I sign up? And then I go into, okay, give me your email, give me your shake flavor, give me what you want, and I'm going to send you an email, sign up. Let's do this. So that's how simple it is. I mean, we all hope that it works out perfectly like that, but it doesn't always, right? So I hope this kind of helps gear your conversations a little bit more to where it's almost like, okay, boom, 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 boom. You have exactly a system. They're interested, goals, explain the value, empathize, and then talk about price, and then give them a share cart. It's really simple. As long as you put your heart and soul into it, as long as you put them first, as long as you make the conversation all about who you are talking to and not coming across as salesy or robotic, right? Or like you just don't care. I'm not saying anybody would do that, but sometimes how we word things, it can come across like that. That's why a lot of times I love to use voice memos so they can hear my voice and they can hear my passion and my energy behind what I do. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I hope that was helpful. I'm going to jump into the chat. And Javen, if you have anything else to add.
No, you crushed it.
I feel like I talked really fast.
Can you see my paint? I'm covered in paint.
It's cute.
Not cute. No, you did good. Just, I think a lot of the times, like, you've just got to like find your own voice, you know, like taking the examples and, like you said, just sounding like yourself. Because the more you try to sound like Jenna or you try to sound like Danielle or whoever, the more someone is going to realize that. So especially the people that know you, just be authentic, be yourself, use the voice memo, show your excitement. On Instagram, the girl from Canada that just joined us, like, I videoed her and just showed her, you know, my excitement. And she was like, oh my goodness, like, your energy is just contagious. Like, I've got to do this with you. So just, I think there's just little adjustments that we can make in the conversations that we have with these people that turn into the difference, you know, that really start, you know, flowing. And the more that you get more comfortable with conversations, the more confident you are going to become in your invites. So you've got to find your voice and what works for you so that you come across confident and excited to send those invites. Because if you're not excited to send them, then you're not. And then if you don't, then your business isn't going to grow. So just really, you know, take these examples and the wording and twist it and make it your own. And if it doesn't work, then we try again, right? So I don't want you to get discouraged. Like, if you do take some of Jenna's examples and like you start to use them and maybe they don't work for you, I want to encourage you that it's okay. You know, you tried them, you tried out that wording and it didn't work for your kind of people. That's okay. You know, Jenna is attracting these dancing and these energetic and high energy people, and maybe those aren't your people. So just encourage you, try it. Definitely try it for sure. I mean, those were awesome examples. But if it doesn't work, we got to try again. And that's when you come into our threads and you're like, okay, this is what I've been sending to people and it's not working. Can you help me tweak it? And let's, you know, find one that works for me.
Yeah. I would encourage you also to type it out and read it out loud to yourself. Mm-hmm. I've done that before and I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. I would never even say that. So why would I send that? You know, like we can always use the Target example, right? You're in Target, you go up to somebody, would you say exactly what you just typed out? Or would you not? If you would not, then you might want to rethink it. But I think just putting yourself out there and just going for it, whether it's not about being perfect. There's no perfect invite out there. Just like Javen said, you put it into your words, make it you, because what's working for me might not work for you. What's working for your friend over here might not be working for you. So don't copy and paste their message, tweak it to make it your own, and trial and error it. If it's not working, that does not mean you're not meant for this business. If it's not working and people are ghosting you, it does not mean you're a bad coach. It does not mean that you can't do this. It just means that we need to figure out, okay, why isn't it working? Not, it's not working, so I'm going to give up. We have to figure out, okay, what am I doing? I need to ask for help. Maybe somebody can help me, or I'm going to reevaluate how I'm working my business and what I need to do. We always have to have that mindset of, okay, how can I tweak it? How can I change it? How can I make it better? Versus, I'm just so discouraged, it's not working. Because there's a big difference, and people are going to feel that through your message. They're going to feel that even through how you're talking to people. So the conversations that I saw in the chat were really good. They were really good invites, you guys. The question I would have is it working, right? Are you sending those and are you getting good feedback? Or are you getting ghosted a lot? Or are you getting, stop talking to me? Or are you getting, you know, all of that stuff? So just ask yourself that.
And realistically, guys, like if Success Club or Diamond or 2-star Diamond, whatever it is that your goal is, you need to evaluate, well, how many times do I need to send this message or this invite out to hit that goal? because the amount of conversations that we have, a majority, the conversations that you have this month are not going to sign up this month. Maybe a majority of them are down the road. So look at your goals and think about, well, if Success Club is my goal, I at least need to be sending this message out 10 times a day, at least, bare minimum. So think about your goals. Where do you want to be, guys? It's already August. Like, it's almost fall. December, the end of the year, is going to be here before we know it. So reevaluate those goals. What are you wanting to achieve for your business by the end of the year? And then step up your game if you've got big goals and send that message out 10x those goals.
Is there anything specific that you guys are struggling with when it comes to conversation? Is it kind of like helping people take action? Is it follow-ups? Are you getting ghosted a lot? Is there anything that you guys want to just kind of chat about the last few minutes, maybe, that we can help you with?
I just wanted to give a quick tip. Like, what I have found sometimes is that I'll voice message someone, and then when I'm following up, I forgot what I said, and then sometimes the link to hear it won't be there anymore. It'll be there, but you can't hear it again. So you're like, damn it. So if you want to, like you said, keep note of what you're talking about and what you said, just kind of like, I said this, not word for word, but like, and so you keep track of what was the last thing you said. So you're not like, I don't even remember what I said. The audio isn't even working on it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a really good point. Anybody else? Who has a goal to hitting Success Club 10 this month? 10 plus. 10 plus. 10 plus. Yes, yes, yes. Woo, woo, woo. Yes. Good. Just remember, you guys, that this is a business, and I talk about it all the time, but you got to treat it like a business, right? Our job is to help people, and our job should be taken really seriously. And when you hit Success Club, just, Success Club 5, don't stop there. Go look for more people to help. Go message 10 more people than what you think. If you are frustrated that you are not hitting Success Club, you have to talk to more people. It just comes down to that. There's no magic. There's no secret sauce. There's no the right answer for this. It's just that you have to make more connections, and you have to 10x your business. You have to follow up 10 more times. You have to invite 10 more people. You have to friend request 10 more people. You have to just keep doing the things. And what's been really, I don't know, it's just you have to do more. You have to do more. If you're frustrated with your business, you just got to do more. And there's just no other way to say it. There's no other way. But know that we are a family, and we're here to help you, but also to be selfish. I encourage every single one of you to be selfish about your business. If you have not gotten your power hour in and you're messaging the team thread, stop messaging the team thread. You need to go work your business. If you have not gotten your power hour in and your invites in, and you are on Instagram stories and you are watching stories, or you are scrolling, or you are doing a graphic, or you are updating your profile, stop and go get your power hour done first. That's probably my number one tip, because I've been there. And I just want to make these fancy graphics. I want to pour into my team more, but it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not even working my business. How can I be an effective leader if I'm not doing the things first? Just like we talked about last week. So that's just my encouragement to you. It's easy to get distracted, and it's easy to just feel busy during the day and then be like, why aren't people, messaging me back? Oh, it's because I didn't message a single person today. Like, why isn't anybody liking and commenting on my posts? Well, it's probably because you're not being social on social media, right? That's just what it takes. You have to be in social media to get engagement. You have to be in your stories in an effective way to get more viewers and all this stuff. A tip that I have been doing, if you haven't noticed, you guys, in my stories, I've been tagging a bunch of you all the time. Let's do this challenge. Let's do a dance challenge. Here's my TikTok. Just watch it. Honestly, my story views have doubled because I'm tagging a bunch of people. I'm sharing it. They're sharing mine. I'm sharing it back into mine. I just feel like Instagram sees that as engagement and, oh, this is great. They're tagging each other. So I encourage you to put out a challenge, tag some of your Instagram friends. You can only tag 10 people at a time. So choose 10 people maybe that you've been talking to. Choose 10 people that you need to follow up with, tag them in your stories and be like, hey, let's do this challenge together. And that way they feel a part of your club too. They're like, oh, I should go chug some water. I'll do a water chug challenge. That was super cool of her to do that and tag me. So be creative in your stories. Tag some people. Have fun with it. I'm all about having fun in your stories. Do something in your stories, especially that people aren't going to expect to. If you've never danced in your kitchen, that's the first thing I think of. Go dance. Go turn on some jams and just record. Forget about TikTok. Forget about all the fancy stuff. Just freaking turn on some music and be crazy with your kids. And boom, people are like, oh my gosh, she has a little more personality. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, that'll kind of just surprise people. And then they'll be wanting to come back for more, So anyways, think of some fun challenges. I love the plank challenge. Juliet, you killed that one on your kitchen counter. But yeah, that's all I have. You guys okay? Javen, do you have anything else?
Did you see Brooke's TikTok today? Did she tag you?
She tagged me, but I didn't.
She shouted me out.
Dude, she was good on her first one. She did the get up, and I'm like, ooh, country girl.
Hold on, I gotta watch it.
She got outside of her comfort zone. I'm like, yeah. She's not on here. She has her cowboy hat on. It cracked me up.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. It's so fun, right? I love that we kind of just challenge each other to push ourselves out of our comfort zone. So, anyways, you guys, I hope that was helpful. If you want that document, I can send it to you, but remember to make it your own and don't copy and paste everything unless you want to try it and give it a shot, and I'm okay with that. But make sure it sounds like you. Okay, let's get into our boomerangs. Let's get a boomerang and I'll let you guys go.
Show your faces. Oh, Juliet's in bed.
Georgia D. Candace, where you at? I love that I opened my Instagram inbox and I have 5 mentioned in my stories, and I cannot wait to share all, and it's all you guys. So share all your stories. Hold on. All right. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. There you are.
Rock.
Good to see you. All right, guys. Thanks for being on tonight. If you need anything, we're always here for each other. So I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.